Welcome to Down to Earth Astrology and Primal Girl Wellness. This is Miss Jenny, and I am your astrologer. Today's chart is a quick one, and it is for the newly elected Speaker of the House. The vote was official 1:59 p.m. Eastern Time on October 25th, 2023 in Washington, D.C. And you'll forgive me if I don't know the name of the man that they've just put into that position, but he's a real lizard. Oh my God, we're so worried about keeping the rats out of the house with coyotes in the back door. So for those of you who aren't paying attention, you really want to pay attention to this, because the Speaker of the House position is the third, literally 3 heartbeats away from the presidency. So if the president goes, vice president takes over. If the vice president goes, the Speaker of the House takes over. So you want to know who your Speaker of the House is. And this guy, oh my God, he's a lizard. He's a lizard. I'm not even gonna lie. Just a good old boy, nasty lizard swamp thing from Louisiana. Hoo-wee. Listen, nothing bad about Louisiana, because I've met some very fine characters from Louisiana, but he's not one of them. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Setting up the chart for his speakership to see what we can expect from this and how long this might last, this reign of terror. Dear Lord, Republicans literally couldn't navigate their way out of a paper bag at this point. But maybe that's the point, is they're not trying. So here's what we have. Aquarius rising, Jupiter's on the midheaven. Aquarius would represent him, Jupiter, the job. So if we're setting this up looking at the forward momentum or trajectory of a position we've just taken, these are the 2 things we're looking at. The ruler of the ascendant and the conditions of the midheaven or the midheaven ruler, the job. So the first thing is with Aquarius rising, he's going to be ruled by Saturn and or Uranus, depending on whether you use modern or ancient rulers. Saturn is intercepted in the first house, and it's 0 Pisces, and it's retrograde. Oh my God. So right there's a whole big bag of worms that is not being discussed, and he may find that he has taken on the worst job in the world, because this is a problem. This is a problem. Also, too, there is a suggestion that there may be, are you ready for this? Because the Moon and Neptune are also there in Pisces in that first. There may be an issue with addictions, either chemical dependencies or gambling dependencies, or, that old tired excuse, sex addiction. But there's an issue here, like rehabilitation worthy issues here, that's being very, very well kept from the public. So he's got more than a few skeletons in his closet that I'm sure would make Lindsey Graham look like a choir boy. But we don't know. We'll find out, but we don't know right now. So there's that. If we use Uranus as his ruler, Uranus is also retrograde. Not getting off the good start here. He is not in a good position. Uranus is retrograde in that 3rd house of community and the immediate neighbors or neighborhood, which in this case would represent the Republican Party in the House of Representatives. Uranus retrograde makes him a bit of an outlier, and also not as popular as it would seem. So the applause he was getting after the election may just be because they finally got somebody elected that they could all agree on for at least 5 minutes. Because remember, the way it's set up now, only one person has to ask for them to be removed from office, and they got to go, just like Kevin McCarthy ended up leaving. So with that said, now Uranus in Taurus, retrograde is also squaring the ascendant, so he's there. I'm telling you, this guy's got some stuff with him. Oh man, he's got some nasty, nasty stuff in that box of secrets of his. And it will come tumbling out very, very quickly, because Uranus squares the ascendant. It's in Taurus, 3rd house, yada, yada. I'm sorry, I'm not going to bore you with all the astrological details. If you need to know, we can discuss it. But for now, just bear with me while I run through this chart. Now, the job itself is represented by Jupiter, because Sagittarius rules the midheaven. Jupiter is also retrograde. So Jupiter being retrograde in the house of neighbors, or in this case, his fellow Republicans in the house, also indicates this is not the best fit, and he's not as popular as you would think he is. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on around this thing. And I say that because the Moon and Neptune are together in Pisces, and Neptune rules glamour and illusion and Hollywood and theater, right? So the Moon and Neptune in that 1st house, intercepted, but still in his 1st house. There's a whole lot of schadenfreude, I think is the word, or illusion around this. So he's with Jupiter ruling that 10th house of career or profession, in the 3rd house, retrograde, which is the house of his Republican co-team members in the house. He's not as popular as it would seem with the applause he was getting after the election. So the applause may be for other reasons. Now, that Jupiter, which rules his job, is opposing Mars and Poseidon in the 9th house. There's going to be, I wouldn't even give it a couple of weeks. There's going to be some serious challenges to his position and his qualifications for being there. So I'm based on some other things, I'm not sure he's going to last that long. But, what do I know, right? Okay, now, Admetos is at the cusp of the 4th house, and give me a second, I was just looking at it. Oh, right, and the moon is void of course. So the first thing is the moon is void of course. So if you use modern planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, the moon is not void of course. If you use traditional planets, the moon is void of course. With the moon, I'm going to say it's void of course. So with the moon being void of course and being intercepted in that 1st house, and with his ruler and the job ruler both being retrograde, this is a really short-term position. Now, make no mistake about it, he doesn't have to be in position very long to do a lot of damage. But nevertheless, this is not a long-term arrangement here. Admetos sits at the 4th house cusp, which could bring health issues, right? So he could end up having a stroke or heart attack before this is over, and or his aspirations of being the Speaker of the House may come to a screeching halt, a standstill, in less than a month. A month, maybe to give me a little extra time here, a month, 2 months, but I wouldn't even give it a month at this rate. So that vermin, that sewer rat that they just put into the speakership position, not looking good, kids, not looking good. He's not going to last. He's going to be ineffective while he's there. But honestly, like how ineffective do you have to be to not even be able to mess up things? I'm pretty sure that's his only goal in life. And again, Saturn rules him, and it's retrograde, and it's in Pisces. We've got Moon and Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is retrograde also in the 1st house. His ruler, also Uranus, the co-ruler, is also retrograde. He's got addiction issues. There's something, because if you remember Speaker Boehner was drunk or pretty close to drunk many of the days he showed up for work. God, he was an alcoholic. And an open one. Oh, wasn't even hiding it. Jesus God. Like he had like little Rudolph red nose all the time. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I think we've got another one of these on our hands. But this one isn't going to last. This one is not going to last, which is good. Because if you don't know about this guy, I strongly suggest you start listening to what people are saying about his career and his history and his choices. Because he is literally nothing but problems if you want to actually live a healthy, safe life, especially if you're a woman, or not part of the regressive caveman movement, or I'm sorry, wannabe caveman. They're not even as tough as the cavemen. They're just a bunch of squawking complainers. So yeah, about a month. I give this guy about a month. So we'll see. But even if he lasts more than a month, it won't be that much longer than a month, and he's going to have virtually he's got no power. There's literally, he's ineffective at best, inefficient and ineffective, and he's got secrets. Ooh, I can't wait to find out what these are. All right, so that's it. You can set the chart for yourself, and we'll keep an eye on things and see how it goes.